event, and it is a staggered start. Sacramento State Aquatic Rowing Club will be in 1 as they get the countdown going. Mile High will be in 2. Austin, River City, Marina, and check that, Marin and Long Beach.
13, 14.
And we have the Sacramento State has taken off first. We have lane 5 with Marin A in taken off second. Lane 2, Mountain High Rowing Club came off third. Lane 6, Long Beach Rowing Association came off. Then you have lane 4, which is River City. And finally lane 3, which is Austin Rowing Club, Austin, Texas. With the staggered start, the boats appear to be more widely spaced than they will be at the end, hopefully. And as we reach the 125-meter mark, we see that lane 1, SAC is still in the lead, and they are very, very closely in line with lane 4, which is River City. They are followed by lane 2, which is Mile High Rowing Club. And then you have lane 4 and lane 5, which is River City and Marin A. They are following up, and then Long Beach Rowing Association is got about a boat length lead behind them. Yeah, they're boat length behind them.
Well, Steve, let me give you a little announcement as to this event. This is the Club Masters event, and it is in fact a handicap event, and this is the first heat of 3, trying to qualify 3 boats to the final for tomorrow. What makes this different than the other heats we had of Masters earlier is that all the participants in this event have to be a member of the club and live within a close radius to that club in order to be eligible, 50-mile radius to the club in order to be eligible for this event. Earlier events of the Masters, we have what is referred to affectionately in the rowing world as Rolodex or mercenaries or whatever, composite crews where Masters rowers from across the United States would get together and race in a particular boat. These boats you see on the water now are all from a club. They are part of a program that rows together year-round, and you're going to see a lot more developmental crews, people that have learned to row in that particular club's program, working up through the ranks, and where you might have a boat full of Olympians or national team members in the other Masters events. These folks that come up through the ranks and learn to row programs, they do have their local heroes, but it is definitely a club atmosphere and a club race.
Nice to have your town against my town, or your club against my club, and that's exactly what this event is. It is the first of 3. That means that 2 will go forward, 2 will compete in the petite, and if there is a 3rd tier race, the final 2 will be in that one. The first boat off of the stake boats was Sacramento State, followed by Marin Rowing Association. Sac State in lane 1, Marin in lane 5. Then off the stake boats in lane number 2 was Mile High Rowing Club, followed by the crew in lane number 6. That was the Long Beach Rowing Association. Then lane number 4 took off. That's River City Rowing Club. And then lane number 3, the Austin Rowing Club of Austin, Texas, came off the stakes in the final position, meaning, of course, in judges' decisions, the Austin Rowing Club is probably the strongest in this group. But if all of this works out, we should have a dead heat between all 6 crews. That's in theory. We'll see how it works out on the water. On the far outside, Marin is currently on the lead, and Mile High Rowing in lane number 2 is in second spot, but on the far outside, Long Beach Rowing Association is beginning to put on a move. Then we look at lane 4, that's River City Rowing Club. then along the shoreline to Sac State. And the Austin Rowing Club, the last to leave the stake boats, is still trailing. Long Beach on the far outside is trying to make a move against Marin. They started at it about the 1,000-meter mark, and they have not been monumentally successful now as the crews approach 500 meters to go in this race. The leading handicap crew, Austin Rowing Club, out there in lane 3, has yet to make up any substantive amount of space, and it may be that they will struggle unless they can fire it up at the end here. In lane number 2 is the Mile High Club, and they are certainly in the hunt, although they've begun to fade a little bit, and Marin on the outside has picked up the lead to this point. Along the shoreline is Sacramento State, with Austin continuing to trail. Marin Rowing Association is clinging to the lead. They were the second crew to leave. Therefore, they're rather highly handicapped, however, or in a positive handicap way. However, they have been clinging and holding on. Marin has been hanging on to that number 1 position so far. On the far outside is Long Beach Rowing Association, and they have been shadowing Marin almost the entire length of our race course. In lane number 2, Mile High beginning to pick up the pace, and then we go outside to River City, followed by along the shoreline Sacramento State also ratcheting up a bit,
I think something
and then Austin Rowing Club. Back to our leaders. It is Marin Rowing Association, followed by Long Beach. This is Marin on the near side, Long Beach on the outside. Then along the shoreline, Mile High Club has a mile to make up if they hope to get into this hunt. And along the shoreline, Sacramento State is really motoring along, as is Austin trying to catch up. And then to the outside, that is River City. Back to our apparent winner here. It appears to be on the lead, the Marin Rowing Association, followed on the outside by the Long Beach Rowing Association. Mile High Rowing will finish an unofficial 3rd spot. And then looking to the outside there, the white on the outside is going to be River City, and on the inside, Sac State. We'll take a close look at that one, as it appears the outside River City got up there and held off a late challenge by Sacramento State to finish in the 4th position. And the handicap winner apparently in this race would have been Austin Rowing Club, but they could never quite put it together, and they never made up the distance that they needed to be able to pick up the victory. Once again, in the women's club, moving forward, we have a number 1 is Marin, number 2 is Long Beach. Going into the petite final unofficially is going to be Mile High and River City.
And we're about to get on with the event 51.
10,
and we
11,
have the
12,
B
13,
event
14,
of the
15,
Thalia Kelly
16,
Considine Cup.
17, 18,
And
19,
in that we
20,
have
21,
the
22, 23,
first boats
24,
off.
25,
We have
26,
Portland
27,
taking off
28,
first.
29.